This is what we're talking about tonight. This is a non-transdermal patch. Non-transdermal means nothing is entering the body. So you're very familiar with transdermal patches. Pain patch, nicotine patch, birth control patch, estrogen patch, right? Those are things you put onto the body and a substance, a chemical or nutrient is passing into the body, causing something to happen. That is not how this works. This is a wearable light technology. It's called phototherapy or photobiomodulation. See, this part is sticky on this side. It's going to stick on your skin. So this patch, you heard Dr. Zappala say, you put it on in the morning, you stay consistent, you leave it on 12 hours, you brush your teeth in the morning, you put your patch on, you brush your teeth at night, you take your patch off, right? It's not that difficult. And so staying consistent with it every day is going to produce results immediately, meaning in the first maybe 3 to 6 weeks or even the first 90 days, and then long-term results that are literally game-changing when you look at longevity and vitality and wellness, just general wellness, right? So what is this patch? What do I mean by wearable light technology? Well, David Schmidt is the inventor of this patch, of this technology. He is a scientist, a researcher, and he has invented a technology 20 years ago when he was working with the Navy SEALs that is non-transdermal, that allows the body to work to get into homeostasis with no injections, with no side effects, no chemicals, no contraindications. It is literally a patch that you put on that reflects back your body's own light. So I mentioned earlier, Laura and I are here on the East Coast. It's dark outside. And so if we went outside, we couldn't see the neighbors or the animals outside unless we were looking through night vision goggles. If we look through night vision goggles, we would see the heat or light that the body is emitting. That is what this patch is working with. And so what David invented is actually what's embedded in this white part. There is a crystal lattice structure in here. And I don't mean a crystal like an amethyst or clear quartz crystal. I mean a crystal lattice structure, which is made up of a proprietary blend of organic amino acids, oxygen, water, and sugars. That solution forms together in this lattice structure. It's embedded in the patch. And so when we put the patch on in the morning, our body's heat or light that we emit reflects back a very specific wavelength of light from the patch. Okay, that patch, that wavelength of light from the patch is elevating a peptide in your body. It's GHKCU copper peptide. That peptide is responsible for a lot of things. You can go to reverseagingwithghk.com and do some deep dive research into it. It's fantastic. But it's a peptide that declines as we age. So David figured out, after 10 years in the lab, how to elevate your own GHKCU copper peptide. Well, you heard Cindy's results in just a couple weeks, right? That's from the elevation of GHKCU copper peptide in her body. That's where she's getting her results from. So what happens when you elevate GHK? Well, one thing is that it resets a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. Sign me up for that. Young, youthful, healthy, proper functioning genes, just like that, literally at the speed of light, reset back to that state. Well, one of those genes is called P63. It's responsible for mobilizing stem cells, activating, elevating stem cells. So when you hear Dr. Zappala talk about things that happened over time, that's from her stem cell production increasing. Right? It's not that initial GHKCU boost that happens is fantastic. And of course that happens every time you put a patch on, right? It's amazing. But when you really look at the long-term things, the deep down things that are happening in the body, that's happening from your body's own stem cells. And so what happens is when you're born, you have an abundance of stem cells, right? Millions, everything is a stem cell. And then it turns into a heart cell and a kidney cell and a liver cell and whatever connective tissue, right? Whatever you need. But you always have an abundance of stem cells in your body that are working to repair and regenerate all the time. Well, as we age, we have less and less stem cells that are active. And so those stem cells become dormant. They're tired, they're wore out. About half of them are done by the time you're in your 30s. Okay. And then guess what? By the time in your 60s, you have 90% of your stem cells that are done. They're all dormant. They're just nothing, right? And so that means your body's ability to repair and regenerate itself is dramatically reduced. So what this patch does, and again, in a non-invasive, simple, easy, effective, and affordable way, you can literally activate your stem cells again, elevate your stem cells, get them mobilizing, and actually reset back to that young, youthful, healthy state. Your body knows how to heal itself, right? It has its own innate ability to know how to do that. If you cut your finger or broke your wrist, it's not the Band-Aid or the cast that fix it. It's the body. But when you age, you have less and less ability for that repair. You heard Dr. Zappola talk about breaking her foot. She's like, well, this is going to be really long, right? That it takes forever for a bone in the foot to heal. But because of her body being able to have its own stem cells, all of the stem cells active, because she continued to use the patch, her body repaired like that. And so we recommend that you use the patch 1 month for every 10 years you are old. So if you're in your 40s, 4 months, 50s, 5 months, 60s, 6 months, right? Or we always say, just stop patching whenever you want to start aging again. Your stem cells take old cells, old tissue, old organs, and make them young and youthful and healthy again. The longer you use the patch, the more repair and regeneration that's happening in the body. Heart, kidney, liver, lungs, brain, connective tissue, muscles. We can see this. David has done over 90 clinical studies in the last 20 years. And we can see from independent labs, independent doctors, researchers all over the globe, double-blind placebo studies, we can see the benefits of using the patch on a consistent basis, not just for a day or for a week or for a month, but for longer-term use. And so if you go to startx39now.com, you'll be able to see all of those clinical studies. You'll see all of the patents. David holds over 130 patents himself, over 70 in the area of regenerative medicine and stem cell therapy technologies and things. So please go there and check that information out, because we want you to be educated, right? Watch the videos, couple 2-3 minute videos and a video of David on there. You'll also hear from doctors and other people that have been using this in their practice and using this to help people all over the globe. This is a global company. We are open in 81 countries, so we're able to help people all over the world improve their quality of life. And literally for the price of a cup of coffee a day, with no side effects, no contraindications, nothing to worry about, nothing to assimilate, digest, absorb, nothing. You put this on and it's happening at the speed of light. You take it off, let your body repair and regenerate, and you put it back on the next day, a brand new one the next day, right? And we do that day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. Like I said, David has invented a dozen patches over the last 20 years. So there are different patches for different things, but we always start with X39. Always, always, always start with this patch, because this patch is the patch that literally activates your own stem cell production. And that is where the regeneration really happens, and your body knows how to do that. So that cascade effect, that compound effect of using that patch on a consistent basis, it literally is nothing shy of a miracle for a lot of people that are going, what else am I going to do?